Hello, I was gonna make this video and then I just felt so dead that I went outside for a walk, bought some eggs, and now I'm back. And I don't know how much better I feel, but we're gonna do it. Also, this top just seems to be the standard top for most of this series. I'm sorry. So today's word is black and white, and originally I wasn't really planning on using this to make a video, and then I just realized I could. Because I really wanted to make another video about being misunderstood, but I just didn't have time, because between this and sort of the lack of time between now and the end of the year, I just thought, we'll leave it. And now I've realized that everything I want to say in the being misunderstood video very much relates to black and white, so we're combining it. So for me, the one thing I really don't like is the idea that the world, or anything in the world, is black and white. I think it's such a naive, ignorant comment to make, to say it's black and white, because I don't think there is anything that is black and white. Even black and white isn't black and white. You've got different shades of white. You've got cream, you've got beige, you've got, I don't even know, but you've got different shades of white and you got different shades of black. You got really black and then you've got sort of like a lighter black. It's just a thing. It's not as clear cut as black and white. I'm just saying. So there's a lot in the world I don't mind. A lot. Like, I can really be okay with a lot of things. But being misunderstood really bugs me. And in a way I'm fine with it and I can get away with it, because all my life I've had this attitude of I don't really care what other people think of me. But at the same time, the idea that misinformation is being passed around about my logic, that irks me a little bit. The problem is, there's a lot about me that I either hide away or don't really like talk about, which is fine, because it's not everyone's business. And so it's very hypocritical of me to say, well, understand me, because half the time I don't even understand me. So it's really hypocritical. This whole video is going to be a bit iffy, and I'm sorry in advance for that. But what I don't like is sometimes when I try to like defend myself or correct people about me, they just can't hear it. And it just doesn't work, and it doesn't mean anything to them, and they're just so glued to their original opinion of whatever I said. And that annoys me. I've just written a whole paragraph here, so I'm gonna read it out and see what it is. For example, I love getting up early, even 4 AM early, but I need a reason. If I don't have a reason to specifically wake up, I'll usually get up around 9:30ish. But then I stay in my room forever, either on my phone or computer or reading a book. But of course, my grandmother doesn't see me emerge until much later, so she naturally assumes that I enjoy sleeping in till past 10 or 11, which I really don't. I hate wasting my day like that. So I've tried countless times to slip into conversation to her that I actually enjoy getting up early, and that it's more just I don't enjoy getting out of my room because I like the privacy of my room, and it just doesn't get through to her. So for example, the other day, I actually came out of my room by like 9:15, and my grandmother's reaction was, oh, you're up early. And I said to her, not really, it's 9:15, that's not early. And she said, well, for you it's early. And it was one of those things where I was just trying to get through to her that this isn't early for me, can you just accept that? And she couldn't, which is fine, because very different mindsets, and that's always going to happen when you've got 2 generations between you and different countries and nationalities and whatever. But it's that thing of, it's not black and white. It's not, if I'm not out of my room by a certain time, I must be asleep. And that is one of those things where it's just like, no, that's not how life works. So another thing about things not being black and white that kind of annoys me is phones. So there's this common assumption that the younger generation is addicted to their phones, and the black and white of it is that if you are on your phone, you're addicted to your phone. And that really annoys me, because I don't feel I'm addicted to my phone. So very often I'm either on my computer or phone to write down notes, or to do YouTube stuff, or to deal with things. And to other people, that just looks like I'm scrolling through Facebook for hours on end. So I've written down another example. Let's read it. I was sitting in the back of a car, quietly looking out the window, which I love to do. I love just getting lost in my own thoughts. And my grandmother and my aunt were in the front listening to The Archers, which, for those of you who don't know, is a radio show played in Britain that my grandmother is obsessed with. My grandmother decides to turn down The Archers, saying it's impolite to be listening to it. And I told her it doesn't bother me at all, because I was so lost in my own thoughts that I wasn't focusing on it, I wasn't listening or anything. My aunt responded saying, oh, don't worry, Mum, she's just on her phone anyway. And that bothered me, because it's this idea that If you're quiet, you're on your phone. And it's not that black and white. I don't get annoyed by many things, but these kinds of things where everyone thinks the world is just one or the other really annoys me. The last little black and white thing I want to discuss is the idea that as soon as you're of a certain generation or age, you are linked with hundreds of assumptions. And that just feels really, really wrong, because 90% of those assumptions have nothing to do with me and are completely incorrect. And one of the things I found really interesting while I was on holiday was that people got my age wrong a lot of the time, by up to a decade, and as soon as they found out my age, their whole attitude and the way they spoke would change. And that just seems really annoying, because it's like, don't take my age or my generation into account when you're talking to me, because I might be forged in the same fires as that generation. But sorry, I'm laughing because that's a quote I used in my history exam last year, or whenever it was, so it makes me laugh. But that doesn't mean that I am a carbon copy of everyone else. And so this whole idea of things being black and white is just so wrong. And I think, kind of linking with all my other videos about like, be kind, be open-minded, that kind of stuff, it's just like, be aware that nothing in life is black and white. People always have other things going on and in-betweens, and the grey area is the entire thing. There is no black and white. Like I said, there's different shades of black and different shades of white. There's nothing so clear-cut, and that's what this video is about. So after rambling on for nearly a quarter of an hour, I'm sorry, goodbye.